I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Your boy, David Ballard, 1/4 of the Black Wealth Renaissance, checking in on my co-host for the episode. Jalen, how you feeling, my brother?
What's good? What's good? It's your boy, Jalen, man. Another quarter of the Black Wealth Renaissance. Feeling good, feeling great. Finally feeling good, man. In warm temperatures, not below. We ain't got ice going all over the place. So it feels great, man. I'm feeling
we
good.
Back in a week, dog. It was crazy last week, but now we back. We better back podding and getting things cracking, man. So
I'm blessed, man. But besides that, man, like everybody, please go comment, rate, subscribe, review to the podcast if you have not done so already. We really, really appreciate it. Your opinion, your thoughts, any type of thing that you think that we can do to improve the podcast, let us know. We definitely listen. We're paying attention. Don't think that your thought will go unheard.
Facts. And speaking of listening and paying attention, man, I want y'all to get ready to listen and pay attention to this episode because we got another great one coming y'all way. It's a question we get a lot, and this brother is going to be able to answer it for us. People always, they want to pick up a camera or something, do it like as a side gig or learn how they can start a business in photography and videography. So we got us a brother out of Atlanta on the podcast today who is absolutely killing it in the game. He went from being an employee to self-employed videographer to running multiple businesses outside of this thing and really creating a lane for people to learn about photography and videography as a business. We have none other than Mr. Brandon Dixon, aka Brandon. Shout me, Brandon. How you doing, bro?
Oh yeah, what's good? We got claps. We got artists.
Yeah, man.
First of all, we got here. Let me. I'm gonna create some claps too. Wait a minute. Let me get something. Let me find something. Jalen, David, I appreciate you guys having me on this on your guys' platform, man. I'm excited to actually be able to teach and be able to not only teach other people, but also to be able to learn from you guys as well. So. Let's get it.
Hey man, appreciate you for taking your time out your day. I know you got a busy, hectic schedule, so definitely appreciate you for taking that time out so you can teach and so we can connect. We definitely look forward to learning from you. So we're just trying to give some value with this conversation. And with that being said, we just jump right on into it. So Brandon, how did you get started? When was the first time you picked up that camera and said, you know what, I think photography is for me?
Yeah, for real. So about 12 years ago, like I was in a small hometown called Wilson, North Carolina, and I was trying to be a rapper. You know, I was trying, right? I was really trying, like literally did everything. I was, did everything from getting the mixtape, putting them out there in the corner stores and all that. Just really hustling, trying to be an artist. But the problem was that when I started trying to get music videos done, I'm about 18 right now at the time, trying to get videos done, and the videographers or the directors, whoever I'm getting, they just trash, right? For multiple different reasons. Whether it's, it takes too long to get my project back, or when I do get it, like I don't get the actual file as far as like they lost it, or somebody just didn't edit it at all. And I was like, yo, I got to figure out how to do this thing myself. So we got a club in my town, and I made a song for the club, and I was like, all right, cool. I need to go ahead and get this thing done. And I couldn't really, I had asked someone who shot it and they didn't edit it or for whatever reason. So I took that project and I taught myself how to edit. Around this time I had moved to Atlanta. So this was a really weird part because now I'm from Wilson. I moved to Atlanta, a whole different state, something I've never done before. And now I am learning how to edit, but also I don't have a job. So my wife is like, my girlfriend at the time was like, she's taking care of everything. Like she got she's paying the bills. She got a good credit. She's taking everything together. And I just, it took me 3 months to actually like learn how to edit just one video. And through those 3 months, no job, anything else, I was like 12 to 16 hour days, learning how to edit, practicing on her, practicing on other people, learning how to shoot and edit within those 3 months. Now I didn't master it, but I learned enough to be able to edit this one video that I wanted to get done. It kind of, stem from there.
I like that. I like how it started, and it wasn't necessarily like something that you thought that you wanted to do, but it came from you, like out of necessity, honestly, like out of necessity. And you were put in a situation where you had to learn a new skill, and like you said, you went and learned it. up until a point where you were proficient enough to go out there and do work.
And I think it's deeper than necessity. You saw what the market was lacking also. You said that people were trash. People weren't doing certain things. So you was like, you know what? Let me learn how to do this so I can be proficient in it. So I think that's really, really smart that you saw what the market was lacking and then you ended up going learning.
For sure. But even since then, but even then I was like, I still don't want to shoot. I need to be able to get a camera, whatever. So now I'm like, since they can't do what I need them to do, I'll just do it myself. Right. I'll shoot it myself. I'll edit it myself. Me and my brother going to go out there and we're going to do this thing. We're going to be a Soldier Boy them. Roscoe Dash them.
Rap.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to be Soldier Boy them. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be out here and we're going to do something. But the weird thing is the way I had to practice is not only the editing piece, but I had to learn how to shoot too. So I'll say, all right, Jalen and David, let's say you guys were one of my friends at the time. I said, all right, cool. I need to learn how to do like these rap videos, these music videos. So Jalen, David, listen, I ain't gonna charge y'all. I need to learn how to do this video. So y'all got some songs? Let me shoot a song for y'all so I can learn how to do this thing. So I'll shoot a song for you. And then you'll turn around and say, hey, that song was dope. That video was dope. Can you do another one? And I'll pay you for it this time. And I'm like,
you showed them work already. Yeah.
How much you talking right now? How much you talking about? $200? Man, I took that money. I take $200. You know what I'm saying? And then they was like, all right, cool. I'm glad you did that. Let me go in and have you do my friend's video too. No, listen, I'm still trying to do songs now. I mean, it's cool. I'll take the money, but I'm still trying to do these songs. They're like, yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, I'm trying to get on hooks and everything. Nah, bro, you the camera guy now for my other friends. And now they're paying me to do it. So now my artist or skill level, I start doing less of this and more of the actual video work.
And I kind of want to go into that. What type of mentality was that whenever you felt like, it
wasn't necessarily what you wanted to do.
It wasn't what you was passionate about, but it was started to pay the bills, because that's something that Dre talks about a lot. Not going after your passion sometimes, but you need to go with what's making these profits. So what type of mindset did you go through whenever you're like, we don't want your music, but come help us on these cameras?
Yeah. So here's what's crazy. There's this thing like you got your passion, right? The things that you are passionate. Well, I wouldn't even say passion, right? Because I don't want people to, because a lot of times people will see passion and they'll say, oh, great, this is something that I actually need to do. I'm passionate, but I need to get paid for this. Not necessarily. I feel like there's, I like to create a difference between gifts and talents, right? So my actual God-given gift was actually like me being funny and things of that nature, right? And I'm talented at a lot of things, right? At the time I was talented at doing music, talent at, whatever, right? But then I'm also talented with like the visual aspect, the cameras and all that. So when they started paying, it's like, why don't I just use this to be able to start a business, right? So it definitely felt weird that like, okay, I can't do songs or whatever, but it's like, no, I'm multi-talented. I can do multiple things, right? But I didn't look at it as a talent at that time. I looked at it as more of a curse, right? Like, man, like I just it's helping me with the money, but I still want to be able to blow up as an artist, as an artist. So like everybody a lot of people can't quit their jobs right now because they're trying to find this passion, and that word gets thrown around so long. And sometimes you will be waiting forever, right? Because let's say your passion is gardening. Okay. You not necessarily know how to start a garden business, or may not be in your thing to be able to go start a gardening business, right? But you're also good at, creating t-shirts, right? You're really good at creating t-shirts. You've been doing t-shirts since you was 15, but you're still like, I'm just out trying to find this passion. You're looking for it. One, you may not find it, right? Or you may have, but you don't think that's it. And then two, if you actually have this thing as far as doing t-shirts, you will wait. You're already good at t-shirts. You don't turn it into a business. You're waiting 40, 50, 60 years because you're waiting for this thing to fall out of the sky. But you've already had a talent of making t-shirts for 20 years. You know what I mean? I've seen that. Like my last job I worked at, I was talking to people and I seen talents in them. And I was, and you guys know, you got friends who do stuff and you talking about stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's cool. I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. Like people who are really good at cooking. Oh, you should sell plates. Yeah, but I'm trying to do real estate. Right. But you can just sell plates though. Yeah, but I don't want to cook. I want to do real estate. Right. I see what everybody tell you to do real estate, stocks and all that. But you can actually do
What's your
They'll play, do restaurant. You know what I mean? Restaurants, food truck. You know you can do that. They don't look at it as an option because everybody's looking for, hey, find the passion. Maybe it's real estate. You know, I do love houses. No, dude, you cook. You cook. So I'm saying it's weird and people are confused about that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, you making perfect sense, my brother.
But yeah, I like that conversation on it just because it goes back to what Brother Dre was saying. Yeah, it's good to look and see what everybody else doing, but where are you the sauce? And whenever you got your sauce, you got to start looking to exploit it. So I kind of want to get into now, like whenever you started taking some of that money from these first couple jobs. You said you were unemployed for a few months. I'm pretty sure that was that was like, okay, like, yeah, I got something here now. Like, what did it look like really taking it and making it a business from those first few jobs? Like,
yeah. So when I first, so throughout those 3 months, that was a very dark and low point in my life because if, you know, as a man, you're looking at your girlfriend taking care of everything, you feel like you're not good enough. You can't, it takes, you're supposed to be in the man in the house, but provide for your wife, your daughter, and things like that. When I couldn't do that, it seemed like I'm just not doing anything, even though I'm working on editing, because I'm still trying to listen, this dream is gonna come true. I'm gonna blow up and be a famous artist, you know, all over the world or whatever, right? And the thing hasn't got here, and I'm still looking for jobs, right? So even though this photography was a side hustle, it wasn't a full on like business, like actually making like big profits till maybe, you know, 5 years later, right? Until after I went into different industries, right? Mm-hmm. So it started from, you know, I'm doing this. So 3 months, even though I'm unemployed, I wasn't self-employed. It was like, okay, I'm not doing this. I'm not even doing stuff to make ends meet. I did maybe like 2 jobs or whatever just to learn how to practice, but it wasn't anything to say, all right, cool. You know, you still need to get back to work, right? So after 3 months, I got a job. Then I started working some warehouse stuff, like just some random temporary jobs. I was up here in a freezer joint one time. I was throwing food. It was all type of weird stuff was going on, right? And then, so years later, I stopped doing music videos and I went over to start doing films, right? Mm-hmm. I started doing, you know, films, commercials, and things like that. I've been into multiple industries, right? When I started doing films, I did like 3 of my own like short films, produced, directed, things like that, because I felt like music videos was, felt like it was a cap, right? I was like, yo, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in the trap house again. I'm just done, right? I don't want to keep doing this, right? If people, you know, do all these, I just don't want to do it. So I said, let me go over to films and started doing that. And that started being a little bit more successful as well. Like some of the, like being in the local screenings and all that stuff, my actors winning awards and things of that nature. Like just really expanded my actual vision for the things that I want to do. But then there was no money in that. So I was like, okay, let me go over to like doing commercials and things of that nature. Then I started doing weddings. And weddings what actually helped me quit my job, because I started from $300 to $800 to $1,300, traveling all over the you know, traveling all over the country. And then to now to that point, then I was getting maybe about $1,500 to $2,000 a job, a wedding. And that's what helped me quit my job. Now, mind you, at this time, I worked at a plant, was working 12-hour shifts. You know, this was like the dream job. You know, you're making $19 an hour, making about $2,000 a month. Oh, that's a dream. I'm rich, right? So I'm not just going to stay here until 40, 50, 60 years old, you know, go ahead and get a retirement, get a 401k, and actually be able to provide. But after, you know, 3 years, I was like, yeah, this ain't, actually 2 years, you start realizing like, yo, being this ain't like, it's a, I can't keep doing the quarterly reviews, the yearly reviews. I don't know if you guys worked at a job where you do like they got the quarterly and the yearly review, and then you get the raise. The raise is like $19.10 or $19.25. So you get like a 10 to 25 cent raise. Y'all work the job like that? Y'all work something like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
First job, that's how they did that. It wasn't like quarterly, but at the end of the year, I think I worked there like 2 years of part-time job. They hit us with like, my first year was like a 13-cent raise. Then the next one, it was like a 50-cent raise. I was like, damn, like y'all really penny and nickeling me. Like I'm looking at how much money I'm making, y'all. Like,
man, I had to go beg for a damn raise, nigga. I was like, yo, I've been working here for 2 years and I'm still making this bottom of the barrel shit. I need a raise.
Hey, did they give it to you though?
Oh yeah, they gave me the raise, but I still was like, fuck it. It wasn't satisfying.
Yeah, no. So what's crazy is that was actually what we wanted. Like we was like, at the end of the year, the whole goal was to get like a quarter, 25 cents. So it was like, oh snap, that you go in the office, then you come out, I'm like, oh, what you get 10 cents? And then you say you got 25 cents. It's, oh man, congratulations, yo, you made it. You got 25 cents. But if you didn't, you got 10 cents. You're like, well, better luck next year, man. So we waiting years on end
to increase your income.
10 cents to say who can get the 20, to see who can get the 10 cents. And I can't believe, I'm like, we thinking like this? We serious? Every year we're like, man, better luck next year. We actually feeling bad. Like, damn, man, we got 10 cents. Next year, man, we got to look at the numbers, get the production right. And next year we can finally get that 25 cents. That's the bar. We can finally get that 25 cent raise. That's what we want. Right?
That's some bullshit, man.
Some math.
That's some bullshit, man.
Yeah, no, it's just it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Actually, like knowing that you're and you can't, it's like you're in this like robotic stage where you don't even know what you're into. Like you're in the matrix, but you don't know you're in the matrix. It's the weirdest thing ever. So regardless, I was able to quit a job by just replacing my income. I just filled up my calendar for the rest of the year. I said, I used to say no when I had to work. Like, oh no, Jalen, oh man, Brandon, can you give me the call? I said, no, I can't do it. I'm not available. Because I had to work. But then I just started saying yes to everything. I said, what happened if I just start accepting everything? Hey, Brandon, you available? Mm-hmm. Yep, I'll be there. Even though I got to work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be there. And I just say yes to everything. And then start taking deposit. Yeah, I'll take this. Just give me $1,000 deposit. I'll be there. Before you know, I look back at my calendar. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh snap. I gotta do something. Either I'm gonna go and do these weddings and quit the job, or I'm gonna have to tell them I can't do that wedding. I was just playing. I was trying to test in the market.
And so, I mean, once you had that money though, it was more of a motivator because, like you said, you getting paid $1,000 for this job versus
that's a deposit.
Well, yeah, $1,000 deposit for the job. That's before you even know. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, if you working that whole year waiting on that 25 cents, I was just doing the math on it. A 25-cent raise at $19. You getting paid $1,000 more in the year. And 40 hours, you getting that, and that's just to solidify that mentality, like how you said, the way we thinking, like you getting $1,000 deposits on these jobs. Like you probably didn't even look at the math on it, like damn, like the 25-cent raise, that's this. Like I'm getting this every time somebody book.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure at that point, like the wheels started turning in your head. It was like, oh
yeah. So I never connected those two as far as the jobs that I can get and they'll pay for that $1,000. I was more so like, oh, it's an extra $1,000. So instead of making 34, I get made 35,000. Now I don't know what that was going to do for me, but I was like excited. Like, yo, this is dope. I'm about to blow up. So imagine if 10 years, I might be able to get 40,000. You know what I mean? After 5 years, might be able to get, 40,000 or whatever. So it's like, I don't know, man. You really have to, you got to start. And I started changing my mindset about watching like motivational videos, started reading books, right? Because at that time I had read my first book since high school. So I might have been like 27 at the time. I haven't read a book since maybe high school, maybe 16, 17, 18, right? And I need something to be able, people can say you need to read. I'm like, well, I don't like reading, right? I didn't think I like reading because people are reading the Harry Potter and all that. I don't want to read that. I want to read some real stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So then the first book that I read wasn't the average Robert Kiyosaki. It wasn't it wasn't that. It was just I went to the library and I might type in entrepreneur or something. And this book came up, 10 distinctions between entrepreneurs and employees. Mm. And all it did, and it's crazy because I felt like it was a book just for me. And I don't think everybody was like, oh, this is a book you need. I don't know if it's a recommendation. I don't know if it's for everybody. It was for me. Like God actually gave that book for me. So it was a short book, about an 80-page book. All it did was gave me 10 distinctions between those two. Like, entrepreneurs take risks, employees don't. Entrepreneurs are, are fearless and, whatever. And I just started realizing that's me. Everything on the entrepreneur box checked off, right? So it was kind of like I was in this place where I didn't know who I was until I read that book. You know what I mean? Where how they said a story like, oh, you can't be, a chicken or an eagle, hanging out with chickens, and those type of analogies. And I was like, that's crazy. I was bigger than what I thought it was. I just didn't know it, right? Nobody ever told me.
Mm-hmm. So you had this as a side hustle for 5 years, and then like it was like, oh man, I could turn this to a business. I'm glad. Like I just want to drill that home because like everybody wants stuff to happen right now. Like it took you time to learn and build up your business, and then you got to a point where you could replace it.
Absolutely, man. It's always it's a transition with everything, man. I don't believe in the immediate, like, oh, tomorrow we're just going to cold turkey, everything's tomorrow. We're just going to do it. I'm going vegan today. Like, wait a minute. Can we hello? Can we
Let me try some quinoa.
You know what I'm saying? Let's try that first. You know what I mean? Everything is a transition. So when everybody believes in things like, oh, just go ahead and jump off the cliff. I'm not jumping off the cliff. Just jump out there. I'm gonna wait and see what's over there. I'm gonna start climbing down slow first. So I'm saying everything is a transition. So it's very like the business is easier than you think, because especially at the age we're in now, everyone needs it. Everyone needs it. So if you're a photographer and videographer, man, in a matter of months. Like when I started my class, because I knew that everyone needed it, you know, about a little over 2 years ago, people were like quitting their job in a matter of months. Like took all the mistakes that I was, you know, I didn't know I was, you know, sitting around not thinking I could turn this thing into actual business, because I always thought of it as a side hustle. That it's just something I just do on the side. You know what I mean? Because come from where I come from, you don't have business. You just have things you do on the side. You know, well, that's just something I do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I just wash cars. I make a couple $100 washing cars, because you need extra stuff. Because a lot of times your job is not enough. You need extra stuff to be able to help you pay the bills. And that's what I was raised on. You do that, and if you can do some extra stuff on the side, make some money, go cut some grass, go do something, you go do that. Make an extra $100, $200. That was it, right? But I didn't realize that. I didn't know that it could turn into a business. There was nobody to look up to and say, oh, look at the stuff I'm doing. Now you can look at YouTube and like, I guess your thing was, your success would be, I can be a famous YouTuber. But that's it. You're not about to, you know, actually take photography and blow up doing portraits, blow up doing, you know, music videos or whatever. You know what I mean? It's only a few people, right? But then who's somebody around you can touch and say, listen, this person's doing, and you can see the super regular, right? Regular person, grew up in poverty, struggling, just a regular black dude. So I'm like, man, if he can do it, then a lot of other people can do it as well.
And I kind of want to go a little bit deeper into those 5 years where you were just like working and laying your foundation with it. How long were you doing those music videos for? About how many years did you strictly do music videos?
About 3 years.
So after those 3 years, like you said, you had the thought, I don't want to go in a trap house anymore.
Yep.
What made you come up with, you know, there's other industries that I can go into? How did you figure out, you know, I can start doing films, or I can start doing these commercials? Where did that idea come from?
That's a crazy question right there. That transition, I've never got asked that question. I know I wanted to do something different, right? So I mentioned I didn't want to be in a trap house, and on top of that, I didn't want to be around a lot of negativity. Not saying music videos or rap videos are negative, but the
man, call it like it is, man. This shit is negative. It's ass shaking, guns, and drugs.
Well, it's not. Well, listen, okay, so it is very few. It's very few of them that are positive, right? I can't really think of, but it's the ones that I was attracted.
Boy be rapping, he just standing there. You know, it might just be him rapping by himself with that backdrop and stuff, but. For the most
it'd be weird, bro. You get a call and they're like, yeah, bro, you know, it's going to be, you know, 40 of us out there on the railroad tracks, just standing there, tank tops on.
With guns.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why is everybody coming? Why is everybody pulling up today? Do we have a treatment? It's like, I can't operate this thing like a business with the type of clients I was attracting. The clients I was attracting. I said, this ain't working.
That's an interesting part that you just touched on.
The clients.
How was that?
Attract those new clients?
Not even just not the new clients. How was that working with those clients? Because we know, like, whenever we in the streets, people want to do things certain ways. Like, oh yeah, look, I'm gonna get you right now, my boy. Like, how was that navigating the music industry with certain clients like that?
It was weird. Like, it's like it actually taught me. Like, it taught me what I didn't want and how not to, because I still operate this thing as like a business. Like, I was still trying to, I would try to do like a 200, like it was like $400, $300 for a shoot, or I'll take $150 deposit, you know, make sure I get paid right down on the same day, whatever. Like, I'm doing professional stuff, but on their end, they're not, I'm giving them treatments and everything. You know what I mean? You a whole drug dealer, and I'm over here writing out a whole treatment for you, which is a storyline for your video. Like, actually I'm showing it with lights. I'm like, man, I'm trying to be professional, because this is like, it's cool, right? It's cool, and actually you should do it as a business. But I just didn't get treated like, they were like, yeah, this dude was dope. You can get this dude to come over and do this. But it wasn't like, the me being professional, right? It didn't translate on the other end. Like, oh, I want to be professional to you too. It was like,
reciprocate the value that you was giving them.
Yeah, I was like, I want to get on the phone. I want to talk, about business right now, but I don't want to talk about hoes right now. You still talking about, hey man, hey, bro, you got them hoes coming through? Hello? Are we doing the shoot? Hold on, bro. Hey, bro, break them dime bags down. Break them dime bags. I'm like,
I'm not trying to go to jail today.
Yeah. Hey, bro, you think we should have some dime bags in the shoot? No, bro. Let's not do that. We don't have to do that. Nah, bro, I'm going to do it anyway. Hey, bro, bring the cocaine.
Oh man. You out here trying to get caught up for a damn music video type shit. Yeah.
Nah, it wasn't that extreme. You know what I'm saying? It was just like this, like, yo, I'm like, this is not what I don't need to do this. Now, mind you, we all know about the trap. You know what I'm saying? My brother grew up, I grew up in trap like my entire life. You know what I mean? So like, that's not what I'm concerned with. I'm like, I want to work with people who are not in the trap. Mm-hmm. Been in the trap so long. Can we work with somebody who's not in the trap, please? Is there any rapper that's not trappers? You know what I'm saying? Can we have somebody get some positive rap to get something else? And like, I just wasn't able to tell my story. So here's what helped the transition. I know it was a long situation.
Oh no,
what helped me transition was because I wasn't able to tell my story. I could only tell my story based off of your song. Okay, so not my story, but a story I wanted to tell. So you would give me a song, some in the strip club. And I'm like, I'm way more creative than this. I don't have to do a strip club. And I try to make it creative. Instead of going to strip club, let's do something different. Let's rob a bank or something, right? And I'm writing all these different stories. And I'm like, man, I don't want to have something dictate off nobody else's song. I want to do something that I can create, that whatever story, it's not based off a song, I can create it, and this is to be the end product, right? So it's always, I can't create nothing new, because whatever your song is, I got to write it based off of that. Mm-hmm. We doing strip club, we in the trap, we doing whatever. I don't know how many songs you can do about jumping up and down in the street. Jumping in the street. Jumping in the street, jumping in the street. I'm like, all right, bro. So first thing we're gonna have to do, we're gonna get some jump rope. We're gonna have to get you know what I'm saying? Gotta get some jump rope. We gotta get some pogo sticks. We're gonna need a couple of those.
Some trampolines.
We gotta get some trampolines out there.
I feel you had a vision.
Yeah.
And you could never really express your vision. So I wanted to, like, with the making that transition, like, how was it finding those roles, like with film? You were writing out the films yourself, or so it was all like independent films that you produced yourself?
Oh yeah, man, it was crazy. I didn't know what I was doing. So I was like, I'm stopped doing that. So I actually I wrote out a script, and it wasn't script. It wasn't like script. You know how it be like it was a professional script writing, basically what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I wrote out a dope story that I felt that it was dope. Something about a homeless girl, right? I went on Craigslist and I said, listen, I'm doing the casting call. I need all these people. I need actors, boom, 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 boom. And everybody showed up for free.
Damn, for free?
I had a whole cast and crew within a matter of weeks.
For free?
For free.
I feel like people would do some stuff like that. Like, they want to act. People want to act.
I just want to be on the movie. I want to be in the movie, right?
Yeah, so here's the thing. It's a lot of even in that industry. Like, there's a lot of people who, from even the crew. We're talking about directors, lighting people. They want to be in this industry, but the big guys won't give them a chance. I'm like, shoot. Well, I'll do it. How about let's go? Let's create something within us, right? Everybody showed up. I literally became a producer and a director within a matter of weeks. I was like, okay, and they said, all right, hey, director, what you need to do? Okay, what you doing right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. It's like, yo, nobody's ever came up to me saying like, yo, look at me as an authority, say, hey, you the producer, it's your vision, man. What you think about this shot? I'm like, it looked good. Maybe. I don't know. What you think? You know what I'm saying? It's just awkward, bro.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah. So then I finally, after a while, I started to adapt and say, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. Produce. I can do this directing thing. And now I got a whole cast and crew for whatever. Right, for whenever I can get people to come out, and I realized the key to actually doing that too. So the people who want to do who do films, the first thing I did was I offer people meal, credit, and a copy. So you get fed on set, okay? You get credit, this thing called IMDb Pro, Okay, which if you look it up, that's where all the actors and all that stuff, you can get other jobs and all this stuff, right? It's like like maybe like where your resume is
like a LinkedIn for actors.
Yes, for actors, whatever, anywhere in the movie industry, you can be there. And then credit, meal, and then copy. So that means you need the copies that you can show this is a film I was a part of, whether I was used it for my reel or things of nature, right? So you offer people these things so that way these are things they need to be able to get to that certain place. So now when people say, oh, I can't do a film, I can't, you can literally start from there and say, listen, I don't really have any money. If I do, maybe $50, $75, but it's all about getting this project done. We can shoot a short film in an entire weekend. You will get a copy, you will get credit. So now it's the benefit for you because now your portfolio is adding up and you got a copy of all the films you did. So now when you go to a high-end director, you get to show all the stuff that you did. The first one cost was less than $1,000. I did like a 14-minute film for less than $1,000.
That's dope. Can you tell me what was the name of that website again?
IMDb Pro. It's M as in Mary, D as in Delta, and B as in Bravo. IMDb Pro.
So IMDb Pro. How did you get?
Or it might just be IMDb. I think Pro, you need a Pro account. So it's actually just IMDb.
So how did you get the knowledge to say I can give you credit on that website?
Well, I started looking at what other people was like offering. I look what other people was offering. Everybody was offering, okay, we can get credit and all this stuff. I'm like, what's it? Looking up like what is casting calls and things of that nature. So when I went to IMDb, and I was like, well, how do you get this? Well, it says it right there. You can create a Pro account for $150 a year.
It's simple like that.
I was like, oh, $150 and get people credit. Okay, you ain't got to go through no loops, no holes. You got to talk to the Denzel Washington. Simple. I paid $150 to start offering people credit.
So from there, you found a creative way to source your own cast, and I love that because it's beneficial to both of y'all because y'all both building out y'all portfolio. So from that portfolio, like how many films did you do before you found your way transitioning into
the commercials and
the commercials and then the weddings?
Yeah, I did like three. I did three short films and like 2 web series. And I did some camera crew stuff for some other films and things of that nature. But so between those 5 projects, I realized that being creative is not helping me get paid. I realized that being creative is not helping me get paid because now I can do all these ideas and all that, but I don't know what to do with it. Right? It's a lot of photographers and videographers out here that are super, super creative, but they're broke. They're super, super talented, but they're broke. I don't have any business structure. I don't have it. I'm just out here shooting stuff because it looks cool. I want to do stories. I want to do all this stuff. I want to just share my ideas, but that's not enough. You need a business model. You need a pricing model, right? You need to understand how to operate this thing as a business. And I was just like doing it and money was coming out the drain. I was like, I ain't got no money coming back. I don't know how to create a return on investment, right? So I said, I need to go into something. Now I stopped doing that because I need to go into something that's going to pay me. So now I'm back into searching for different things, right? And this is where people just call me and say, hey, can you do this? I'm like, yeah, I can do whatever. Now I'm in a limbo where this is where a lot of people fell at. So now I do 3 different things. I do commercials, I do films, and I do music videos. Although I haven't done one, in a while, maybe a year or whatever. So, but I still do this. So now people don't trust me because I'm doing multiple things. It's like, oh, I want to call you to do my my music video. You look at my website, it's everything on the site. You got music videos on there. You got a baby shower on there. You got a funeral video on there. It's like, well, how do I know? How do I trust that you can do the job that you said that you can do? You know what I mean? So every time, I tell people every time that let's say you're in multiple niches as a photographer or videographer. Every time you post a different niche in there, it's a decrease in your pay. So,
I bet that's contrary to popular belief. I bet
it is. I didn't realize it was, right? Because I've been through it already. And then when I started doing this thing in niche, notice when through this storyline, notice I've been doing one thing at a time up until this point. And they've both been successful essentially. Right? Or in my level of success, one thing at a time. It was only in this point in my life where I was doing 3 things where it didn't work out. And I said, it's something. Why this ain't working? I'm thinking if I do multiple things, that's multiple monies. You know what I mean? Multiple things is multiple monies at the same time. I'm not saying you don't need to do multiple streams. It's a process for that. But I was like, these multiple things is multiple money. So I'm like, boom, I do commercials for a lot of money. I can charge people to do their films for a lot of money, and I can charge people to do music videos. The problem was the trust wasn't there. I can't trust that you can that you can do this. Oh, I do everything, right? So as opposed to me getting, maybe a $500 for a music video, right? Well, actually, people might budget it for more, maybe $2,000, right? They say, yeah, well, I see you doing other stuff. I don't want to know if I'm gonna take my chance with all of my money. I might give them $250. I might give them $200. Right? Meaning, if you go to the mechanic shop and you got a Mercedes, right? But this mechanic said he works on everything. You look at it a lot. There's a whole bunch of cars out there. He got Hondas, Toyotas. He got Mercedes out too. Everything's out there, right? He said, listen, I'm going to do your brakes, your engine, whatever, transmission for $2,000. And you're like, dope. Okay, that's what's up. Now, if you went in the same day, went to a Mercedes dealership, right? Or Mercedes, just a guy named Mercedes. His name Mercedes. He got Mercedes on the lot. His granddaddy named Mercedes, and he drive Mercedes. He worked on Mercedes that morning. When you rolled up on him, he was working on Mercedes.
Mm-hmm. I'm going with him.
He gonna charge more.
He gonna charge more. He gonna charge $3,000.
But he know them damn Mercedes.
Now you got a job interview tomorrow. You got to be able to take your kids back and forth to daycare. Are you going to Mr. Do Everything, or are you going to Mr. Mercedes?
I'm going to Mr. Mercedes.
I'm going to Mr. Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to take their chance on this. Like, man, I would much rather go to the specialist, right? I'm a pay a premium, right? But I'd much rather go to the specialist. So once I figured it out, not only can I charge more for being a specialist, it's easier to get jobs. It's easier. You come in as and say I got Mercedes. Anybody who got a Mercedes, just come through. I got you. And then you start weeding everybody out. The problem is people think, oh man, we not too many people. Oh, I'm trying to get these music video jobs too. I'm trying to get this too. No, it's a decrease in pay. Do one thing and get and charge more, right? Do you want $2,000 for a wedding, or do you want $500 for a wedding, right? Do you want to do $500 for a wedding, $500 for a music video, $500 for this, for a film, or do $2,000 for a wedding?
So once you start to see that shit, I mean, that's just major for anybody, not even just videography. This is just in general. Brother Dre talked about that as well. Niching down. Whenever you niche down, you create more opportunities, because I think that biggest thing you said in there was that creating that trust. Whenever you show consistently, like, you got clients that said, oh, he did this wedding amazing. Oh, my wedding was great too. And all I'm looking at and seeing is weddings. It's a lot easier for me to pick you versus dude that, like you said, he got the funeral video first and then he got the music video second. Like, I think I'm gonna go with this person.
Yeah. And guess what? You start doing all these things, your funeral video start looking like a wedding. Your creativity start to mingle.
Because you mashing and you're going into too many different sections.
Yep.
So how long it took for you to realize that I need to niche down and get in one lane?
Well, I didn't know till after I started doing so I've always did one thing at a time, only until this particular point. This particular point, I was doing 3 things and it wasn't working, right? So I'm doing a lot, but my bank account didn't change, right? I'm like, oh, okay, this is supposed to be more. And I'm like, why is it? The bank account still the same? Is it? People less jobs. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I just need to drop everything and just do weddings. There was this thing that came out called Thumbtack. It was a service platform where you can actually, I don't know if it's actually out or around now.
It's still around. Notaries is getting booked on Thumbtack.
Yeah. So what's crazy is somebody told me about it and I was like, yo, this right here is dope. And I'm looking on it and I'm looking at the job. I'm like, maybe I'm gonna come in here and maybe do some commercials for them, right? Since they don't really, it's a new platform. Maybe it's not enough for them to see and not trust me. So I'm looking at it. And there's a whole bunch of weddings on here. I'm like, dang, that's a whole bunch of weddings on here, but I ain't never did no wedding. So now I got to do a wedding for the low. Do exactly what I did when I first started. It's the exact same process. Do something for cheap or for free. Get the portfolio up, and then you can start charging more. So I said, you know what? Let me go start doing weddings. So I found somebody who I did a wedding for $300, and then they took a chance on me. Thank God. Then after that, my next wedding was $400. I just need to get this portfolio up so I can show all these weddings on this particular thing. I started changing it on the little Thumbtack joint and said, listen, I don't do all these different things. I'm just put wedding videography. That's it. Because first it was commercial. I'll do everything. I put all the portfolio. When I start taking it down, I said, this ain't working. Let me just put up here this one wedding. And then I put the other one up there that was $400. And then I put the other one up there that was $800, right? But when I went and talked to people who I charged $800, right? The price was going up. I said, why did you go with me as a videographer for your wedding? I'm talking to the bride. But she was like, well, you had everything I needed. You had the drone, you had whatever, multiple cameras and all that. But you were just the cheapest. So I budgeted for $1,500. You had everything I needed, but you were just cheaper. Well, when I tell you I was hot,
they let you know that you was undervaluing yourself.
Undervalued. So then I said, you know what? I'm about to bump it up, right? And I got this thing called Wedding Wire, right? And then I started putting my services in different places, in DC, in Maryland, in Philly, in Florida, in all these places. People started contacting me and said, hey, can you travel out here to whatever, Indiana? I said, yeah, I'll be there. But I'm gonna charge you $1,300. They said, all right, bet. So I'm flying to place, I'm charging $1,300, $1,500. And they're writing reviews saying, hey, hurry up and book this guy because he doesn't realize he can charge more. They write in the review. Damn. I'm like, no, first of all, don't treat me like a cheap hoe. First of all, I ain't no cheap hoe. I can charge a little more. You know what I mean? I was going to DC, DMV area every weekend. I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at it. I'm charging, $1,800 to $2,000 now. I'm like, first of all, I'm out here killing them every time I go somewhere. So then I look in the DMV. I look in the what other people are charging out there. The reason why they're coming to me because I'm the cheapest. Even from Atlanta, me traveling there for $2,000, $2,400 is still cheaper because the people in the DMV area for weddings charge $4 to $6 grand for a wedding.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm thinking I'm killing it, but I'm not. I'm just cheap. Now the value is still there. It's like super value for cheap. You know what I mean? That's like going to Ruth's Chris and you got $10 steaks. You know what I mean? I'm killing it. Like, you could have did $100 steaks, right? And they up there, all the other steakhouses killing it. And I'm over here like, man, my steaks just went up from $10 to $15 a steak. I'm killing it right now. They're like, listen, bro, we just went up to $120 a steak. You know what I'm saying? So just not realizing I can charge more, man. Realizing once you become a specialist and you can charge more, you should do so.
That's powerful.
So you realize you could charge more, like you got all the testimonies for people, because you kind of answered some of what I wanted to ask along the lines of like marketing your service. So obviously you said you put together your portfolio based on your previous work with people like SD, and you would kind of get their reviews and do that. Mm-hmm. Were you hosting like all it just on those types of websites, or did you have your own website and stuff too?
No website.
Dang.
No website. A website. So all people need to see is your portfolio. That's a myth, right? A lot of photographers always think, man, the first I need to do, get a camera, get a website, right? I've done doing this thing for 10, 11 years, no website. It's not.
So you still don't have a website?
No, not for me. No, I don't know.
Okay.
I got my team to create one. I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's public. I don't know what's happening right now. No, nobody has went to my website and went to a website and booked me for a photography videography service. That's now for my weddings, I created now some sites I think is proper. So for weddings, I had a website, or still have a website for the weddings, but people still don't book there. They go to like either a Wedding Wire or something along those lines, another portfolio site where it is trusted. Okay, it's still going. This site specializes in weddings, right? Another trusted site to be able to book through there.
So I'm gonna ask you, like, I'm a new photographer or videographer in the game. Brandon, I just picked up a camera. I just got me this Canon EOS. I've been shooting for about 5 months now, and I've been shooting my friends. Like you say, I've been practicing, but I'm trying to really start making this money. What would you say? Okay, this is how you need to lay your foundation down so you can make sure you're gonna perform to the best of your ability.
First thing I would tell them is get a niche. Get a niche first. Mm-hmm. Once you get a niche and have an industry to specialize in, you go and put that niche, that industry, all over your Instagram, all over your Facebook only. From there, you reach out to other people and say, listen, I can do this for you at a discounted price. Okay. And then the way you would discount that, the price is, let's say you wanted to get, you want $500 for a shoot. Okay. You tell them the price is $700 or whatever, and you give them a percentage off, and you still get a $500 that you want. Okay. And when you send the invoice, you still tell them, you still show an invoice with the percentage off. So now when they start referring people, they can't tell you I paid $500. You see right there on the invoice that it's $700. So now you get to raise your price without trying to find out how I'm gonna raise my prices. Your price was already $700 anyway. Did that make sense?
Yeah, that's very smart.
Yeah. So because you gotta think, big business doing all the time. I get a lot of my ideas from, because since there's nothing else to pull from, I got to pull from other business owners that I hang around with, or just big businesses, period. Right. So I look at, Chick-fil-A, right? They're very, very simple. You can go to Chick-fil-A, you're either going to get chicken or you can get chicken. Which one you want?
All salad.
Or you can get a salad with chicken.
I was just about to say, but it got chicken.
Chicken is the main service.
Yeah.
Like picking your thing.
Yeah. So once you go there, it reduces a lot of confusion. It reduces a lot of creativity and create a system for it, right? I'll also tell them to stop being so creative, right? And stop thinking like a photographer. Like a lot of photographers, videographers, they want to be like super creative. Stop doing it, right? Stop thinking like photography. As long as you keep thinking like a photographer, you'll get paid like one, right? You need to get paid like a business owner, right? This is a business. You're going to get a music video. It comes in this particular template format. Okay, boom, 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 boom. This wave comes in this particular format. Once you start to vary away from that, you don't see Chick-fil-A switching up their sandwiches, right? So you know what? Instead of doing this chicken sandwich, we're gonna throw a chicken. We're gonna throw a burger in there, right? We're gonna throw some cinnamon toast crunch in there, a little bit of motor oil, and instead of that top bun being actually that regular bun, we're gonna throw some white bread on there. Okay, but we ain't gonna stop there. We're gonna get some sliced apples, throw it on top because I feel I want to be creative today, and then that's gonna all be your number one. But somebody just came from there and said that I got number one, the sandwich was delicious. You come there, I got a different sandwich, right? When people come to you, they want that exact same look, right? They want that exact same sandwich. So if I took a picture of the railroad tracks or whatever, oh, my friend is dope shot, and when they book you, they want something similar to what they just seen. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you see them J's online, right? You see some shoes online you want. You go there, the J's look different.
I ain't buying them shits.
I want the same shoes. I thought you man, y'all catfish me. You catfish me. You see what I'm saying? So just being very simple and creating a template, because that's the way big business do it. Like when I started working at McDonald's in 16, I thought I was going to get trained by an actual person to do like the burgers and all that. No, they took me to the back and showed me a video for 2 hours. I came out a whole fry cook like SpongeBob. I came out a whole fry cook, bro. I was like, oh, I guess I know how to do this here. Yeah, it's real simple. Press the little thing down, boom, flip it, put it on the sound, you're done. No training. I was like, oh. Well, dang, I didn't realize that's what big business do. They got a system in place. Right?
Setting up system key, super duper key. You plan to succeed in any type of business, because especially like you just said, like whenever you don't have systems, you fall real easy. It's real easy to fall into being inconsistent with shit. Absolutely. Like, because you don't have your own criteria.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'll just do whatever I feel creative today. So what happened if you stop being so creative? That happened to me, right?
It happened to everybody.
You know what I'm saying? So I could be in a spot where I can get your video back quickly. I can get your video back in, a couple of days. But now if I lose my creative juices, dang, what am I going to do today? Oh, why taking so long? I'm just still thinking about what I'm going to do to this video. 2 months, you ain't got your video back yet because I got creative block. That doesn't make sense. Create a template, create a system, and say, listen, you're going to get the Chick-fil-A of videos. And the same way that person one liked this video, every person that refers them, they're going to like the exact same video because they're all getting the same thing.
So you might have some people that be like, but that person doesn't want to be like everybody else. Maybe they waiting to look a little different.
Oh, well, they should go to somebody else.
Simple like that.
Not everybody your customer.
You know what I'm saying? They can go to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because you came to me and, now, of course, you can make it different as you want to, but you don't want to get too much outside the box. I'm not telling people don't put your ideas out there. Right. But if you get in a spot where you still feel like a lot of times that's not the reason. A lot of times it's them. The photography wants to be creative. And if you want to be creative so bad, do it on your stuff. Right. Don't do it on the client stuff. The client's getting Chick-fil-A sandwich. You can be Cheesecake Factory if you want to. Okay. With a whole bunch of crap on the menu. But let this client let the clients get what your industry is template or systemized for. Right, the system you created for on your business. If you want to be creative, you can be creative. Like I do creative stuff for me, right? Because what happens is I start being extra creative, and people wouldn't like it.
And that's when you find your next addition to something, right?
Yeah. So wait, ask again.
That's like whenever you find like your next addition, like if you would to like I see what you're saying. Like you thinking about something creative, you do it on your personal Instagram or like your personal brand, and you share it. And if your people, your customers that still engage with you because you did them,
how can I get that?
Yeah, they're gonna be
Brandon,
like,
I need that deluxe chicken sandwich.
Yeah, for sure. Now we can do that. I know we're talking about chicken today, but I'm just saying we can definitely do that. But the thing is, you know, you should do that creativity stuff on your own, right? On your own stuff. And of course you can definitely add it as, you know, as an addition. But what happened was I was like, you know what, I want to make everything different. When I started making everything different, adding a different, like I was saying earlier, adding the apples on there, adding the cinnamon toast or crunch on there, and they didn't like it. Like, I don't like to come trying stuff. But I could have just gave them the two, you know, chicken, the chicken, the bun, and the pickles, and it would have been just fine, right? And it delayed the editing process. Not delayed, I'm sorry. It decreased the editing process because it would take me a long time to edit, only because I'm thinking and trying to be new, trying to be so everything has to be new and different. And then it'll take 2 weeks. Everything is new. I sent to listen, man, you're gonna love it. I did more stuff on this one than anything else. I threw effects in there that I usually don't do. I threw whatever, this stuff on there, filters on there that I usually don't do. I put this shot in there that I usually don't do. It's my creative work yet. What you think? I don't like this. I paid you for the video that I wanted. Why you throw it in there?
I was trying to be creative.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to be creative, right? But creative doesn't necessarily lead to more money.
So moving forward, after, I want to go back to whenever you were about to quit that job, that plant job.
Oh man.
What was that mindset like? Like you said, you know, you just started taking it and you looked up and your calendar was filled. Yeah. You go back to your woman where, you know, you were out of work before. So how did she react this time? What she was like, you know, babe, I see what you're doing now. Like, go for it. Or you need to stay your ass at that damn plant. Yeah,
it was weird. So it was very mixed. That year was bananas. So the exact same year, in 2016, I got a DUI, right? I spent my first night in jail, right? Had to, you know, pay a lawyer, you know, $6,000. My wife needed surgery at this time as well. So during the time I wanted to quit, she needed to get surgery done. So all the health insurance was on me. So it wasn't that she didn't want me to leave because she didn't support me. It was like, what am I gonna do about this surgery? What am I gonna do with this health insurance, right? And I'm feeling like, you know what? I just need to go ahead to go ahead and do this. All these things are on my back. Okay, so like I said, I read the book. I started watching videos. You know, Eric Thomas, David Shands, and all these entrepreneur YouTube videos. Right, and started learning more about entrepreneurship, and I'm feeling a little more confident. But it's only until I started getting those other gigs that actually helped me. They actually say, you know, I actually need to go ahead and quit once I started developing a mindset, because I couldn't quit without having the mindset. So with reading and watching these videos, it helped me develop a mindset to be able to quit. Because before then, I wasn't able to do it without the right mindset. Okay, so meaning going back to when I said I had this DUI. So now it's hard for me to quit now because now I got to pay. I got to pay this lawyer. I also got my dream car, right? That I've been, you know, prideful about letting go. This joint was draining me, right? I had this Jaguar, and it was killing me every month. Not only the payments, but it was always something wrong with the car, and I couldn't afford it necessarily. But I wanted to keep stunting, right? So, you know, I was stunting, but I didn't have, like, the radio don't work, the coolant was leaking, all this stuff. But from the outside, I was still stunting. You get the inside, you're like, bro, don't do this stuff in here work, bro. Why are you still riding this? But I don't want to, you know, what will people say when you tell everybody, you know, hey, I got this job, you know, or hey, I got this car and you got to get rid of it. Hey, I just got married, but then I just got divorced. Hey, I got this house, but it just got foreclosed on. You don't want that feeling of people at the job saying like you a failure. So I said, man, I'm just going, whatever I got to do, man, I got to keep this thing. So then got to the point where I said, you know what, in order for me to be able to do these other jobs that I need to do, I need to get another camera. So I sold the car and I bought a camera. So now I got 2 cameras and I got a better camera for me to be able to go and do these jobs that I want to do in the future. So that's the first thing I did. I had to make a sacrifice. Okay. 2, that I also changed my mindset. So that's 2, reading and watching, videos, self-help videos strictly for me. And then 3, I was talking to my attorney, right? And he was like, when you get a DUI, right, it's very hard to get another job. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna need it. That's my thing. That's my like it was easy for me to go and get a job. Right. So we go into court multiple times, and I start to realize, like, well, what if I'm thinking about quitting this year. What if I don't? How much was DUI affect me? I forgot what the DUI was going to affect. Right? Because I'm thinking like, yo, first of all, I'm a good person. I spent my night in jail. I don't want people to look at my record saying like, oh, you a bad person. So I went to the lawyer for the final time, and I said, now what happened again if like when DUI was on my record? Like, let's say we didn't win this case and the DUI was on my record. He said, oh yeah, it'd just be tough for you to get a job. Now, like, but what if I don't have a job? He said, you never know when you'll need another one. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what if it actually works out, right? Because he put his beliefs on me, right? He believed that everyone is going to always need a job. You never know. You're going to get into a place where you're just not going to make it. You're going to always need to be able to have your record clean so you can get a job somewhere, right? But I didn't realize you can do anything. You don't necessarily need to actually go to a place to get employment. You can it's so many side hustles stuff, so much stuff that you can do to actually make money. You know what I mean? But I didn't know that. I was just thinking like something ain't right. So going back to where where my wife was feeling, she wanted to support me, but she was like, no, you can't. At that particular time, she couldn't because of the surgery that she had to do, right? But then I told myself, I feel like it's gonna get to a time where this is the only time where I had to make a decision without no one's help. Because nobody else, no one else, I don't care whether mom, wife, brother, sister, cousin, auntie. No one else was there, because sometimes you need approval. You say, hey man, I want to start a podcast. What do you think? As soon as I say, bro, you should go do it, you'll feel confident about going and doing it. Everyone says, nah, I don't know. You sure? I had to look within myself. I had no other help. It was me and God. That's it. No other help from no one else. What you gonna do? Right? And so then I just asked myself, I told myself, like, I can't live the rest of my life not knowing if this thing's gonna work or not. Okay. I can't live the rest, like, this right here could be an opportunity, but I would never know it. Whether I jumped out here or not, I was like, you know what? We just gonna do it. And that's when I started taking all the jobs. I said, we're just gonna try it. We're gonna see what happens. Forget it. And then if stuff, fall short, I don't let myself fail. So I'll do whatever. I'll do Uber, cut grass, sell water bottles, whatever I got to do. But if that just happened, it just happens. So I just literally just put it up, just weighed the options and said, listen, man, I would much rather try it right now at 20 something and then try to figure it out later or how I'm going bounce back. Cause I feel like if I don't make a decision, shoot, I could be in here for another, 10 years.
Man, like you said, man, that taking risks, that's one of the keyest things of entrepreneurship. Yeah. You got to be able to, like, I love what you said when that dude was projecting. Cause like that's another thing.
That happens a lot. Like a lot of people project their
into,
fears on you.
When you're going into entrepreneurship, you definitely you got to be able to have that vision. Like you said, it was just nobody but you and God. I feel like that's another strong part of it. Like you got to have faith whenever you're going to be stepping into this, because so many people are going to project onto you, and so many people, like, even though you want that validation, not everybody going to see it the way you going to see it.
And they'll be the people that's closest to you. But sometimes, and it's not because they're fearful. Sometimes they just want to protect you and don't want to see you get hurt.
Yeah, bro. It was crazy. It's just like, man, it's so easy. Had I just got somebody, y'all could have came in and said, bro, you should do it. Somebody just tell me I can do this, then I would do it. But nobody was like, man, I don't know. I'm like, come on, bro, I need something. You know what I mean? Give me something. But it was just like, no, I'm not, I don't, God's like, I'm not going to show you any other signs. You got everything. I gave you everything you need. You looking for signs, you looking all in the sky. Why you keep looking for stuff? You got it already. I gave you everything you need. Yeah, but what I need more camera. Bro, you got a camera. Well, I'm looking for, you got a house. Well, I need something else. How many signs you need? Once to hit you upside the head one, you got everything you need. And it's like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying this because that's why I was feeling myself. I was kept looking for, and a lot of times these are just excuses. Mm-hmm. I had excuses and I was looking for approvals. When I had everything I needed, God had already approved me before I made a decision. Mm-hmm. God had approved me 10 years ago before I made a decision. You know what I'm saying? What was that?
Hey man, we had to give it to you because look.
Yeah, man, you over here spitting
that's
some hot fire,
necessary.
man.
Brandon, I had another question for you, my brother.
Absolutely.
With the videography business, so you found the lane, you found your niche, and we kind of talked about diversifying later. You turned this videography into multiple businesses afterward. Can you kind of speak to that, like how after you found your lane, you can kind of diversify out?
Yeah, for sure. So I feel like, you know, especially, so I've been doing it 6 years at a time, and 6 years at a time when I quit. So it's like, as opposed to me looking for something else, I should just take this videography thing until the end of its time. I need to get everything I can out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say, I've been doing 6 years, let me go and do something else. No, bro, you've been doing, but you better get what you can out of that. You weren't doing it for nothing, right? So regardless, when I quit, the first person I met was David Chance, right? So what you want to do is you want to be around other entrepreneurs, right? And this will help you, or be around other like-minded people, right? I didn't necessarily be around other photographers and videographers because it might not be the person you want to be around. Because guess what? Sometimes you around other photographers and videographers and y'all both struggling. Okay, y'all both broke. Y'all both trying to figure it out. I don't need to be around nobody else that's trying to figure it out. I'm already trying to figure it out. Let me be around some other people, right? Some other like-minded people that's in the place where I want to be. So I met David Chance. That was actually one of the people I was watching on YouTube. So I met him, and then we started to create. I told him I wanted a studio and all this other stuff, and we started working together, right? And I'm doing his stuff like for free. Like, yo, whatever you need, I got you, because I need to be around these people, because I don't know any other entrepreneurs or business owners. So whatever I need to do to be around this, to keep my seat at this table, I'm doing it. Okay. So it was only to be able to get some type of guidance of where I'm trying to go. But that turned into us starting a coaching program. I was like, dang. So now I'm shooting this stuff. And I met Eric Thomas, who was the person I was watching earlier that year. Right. So we started a coaching program together. So we became into a partnership. So from actually doing weddings, started a partnership with David and another girl, Janae, and also Neil at this particular time. We started a coaching program. Then we had to use this money to be able to get a studio. So now within a matter of, after I quit my job within a year, I had my video business, I had a coaching program, and I also had a studio within a year. Okay. Damn. We use the money from the coaching program, charge people from the coaching program, and use that money to be able to pay for the studio. Right. This is a part I actually left out of the story. 2 years before that, me and my wife was trying to get a studio and we couldn't afford it. It was like $2,000 a month. Dang, I'm only making $2,000. I can't pay for this rent. No, it's gonna be crazy. So then, as soon as I got with like-minded people, I was able to get a studio within a matter of months. Right. So now at this point, we got studio, and then also I'm switching. Now I'm working with more business owners now. Now I'm hanging on business owners. Now I'm starting to understand business of how this thing works. Right. Okay. I see what's happening. We get other stuff to pay for something else. I'm learning more about business as I'm being introduced to more and more like-minded people or entrepreneurs. Okay. So then I go from there to I'm doing business owners now, and then I start to hire my employees overseas because I need to be able to put a system in place, because now what happens is you're doing all the editing. Now it's been time where me, Jalen, Dave, we gonna hang out. Actually, I shoot Jalen Davis podcast. Okay. We hanging out all day. Huh?
You shoot Shannon's pipe?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
No, what I'm saying is we're doing, am I breaking up? Y'all good?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So it's like, all right, let's say I go and shoot Jalen and Davis podcast, and then we're going to hang out that day, and then we maybe hang out a little bit that night. And then it's like, hey, Brandon, you got that podcast done? No, I'm hanging around with y'all all day. So I realized it's a problem. I can't necessarily, I want to quit my job for more freedom, but I didn't necessarily have any freedom because I'm doing everything. I'm wearing multiple hats. I said, I need to be able to delegate some of these tasks, right, and create a system for it. So I hired my first employee overseas in the Philippines, right? So I showed them how I put a process in place and showed them how to edit, showed them how I edit my videos, and then from there, things started to take off as far as me creating an agency now, right? So now I'm like, well, I can turn this thing into something bigger. I can actually, I can have faster turnaround times. I can charge more because I already have a premium, and it starts from, I should have a staff now, employees, right? And then from there, I say, I need to show other people. I don't know anybody who did this, right? Now, I definitely have to mention the way I hired people. I didn't just fly out in the Philippines out of nowhere. I met somebody named Derek Harper, who was also good at building businesses.
Mhm.
When I met him, he told me the idea. Well, a lot of people told me the idea about, getting outsourced. But I was like, yeah, I don't see how that works. That makes sense. But when I got with him, we actually flew over there and hired him right there on the spot. Like, talked to him. Boom, you who I want. Let me see your work. I'm hiring right on the spot.
Damn.
We met and he was like, why don't you just get like head or something? We just go overseas because I'm actually building something over there. You can just hire somebody over there. I was like, yeah, how that don't sound right. That don't make sense. How you hire somebody? You know what I'm saying? I ain't never hired anybody before. It's weird. Fly over
Overseas, overseas nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't hire anybody here to hire somebody overseas. So I'm over there and I'm doing interviews. I'm like, I'm a whole CEO right now doing interviews. And I'm like, yeah, man, I like your work. Let me bring you on. And I come back home and it's weird because I don't know like what to do. I'm like, do I give you your stuff or whatever? And we just sit around waiting. And he like, hey boss, what you need me to do? I'm like, I don't know, bro. I never did this before. I don't know what you doing right now. Waiting on you. Okay. Well, I don't know. Let me send you something. You know what I'm saying? So then I realized like we need to create a system and process for this stuff. So I created a system and process to now I have multiple editors, virtual assistants, marketing team, everything. But the multiple businesses come from starting one, niching down. So that's I got the agency. Okay. The coaching program, the actual studio, get the studio to where it runs automatically by itself. Then you can move over to another industry. Okay. So the studios run, we got everything in place. We got management, we got everything. We got tools ready. Everything is set up, automated and systemized. Now that's running. Now I can go and do something else. Okay. Now I've already got my my business run as far as doing videos and all that stuff. But now I hired people. So now I need to create a system and process for that. So now that's running without me, or not without me, but maybe less of my time. Now I have time to go and do something else. You know what I mean? So this is how you transition. And then I start the class, my Shooters Camp Master Class, where I show other photography videographers how to do what I do. But now it's a time where I say, I need to be able to do multiple things right now. And I go right back into that mindset. So I want to build out more of the agency and want to do more stuff at the class, whatever at the same time. They both fail.
Got to take it one at a time.
They both fail. I was already doing both of them. They were doing just fine. I said, you know what? I'm about to really max. I'm about to do two things right at the same time. I try to launch two things at the same time. They both fail. At the end of quarter four of 2018, I believe.
You got to keep on bumping that head sometime.
Yeah, bro. So I realized that there is a transition. Make sure that you develop everything you need out of this business. Get it systemized to where it's running with less of your time or none of it at all. And now you can move over into something else. So let's say you want to do multiple niches. Let's say you're doing wedding photography, but you want to do pet photography. Get it to where you got two people doing your weddings. You got somebody doing the calls, doing the consult calls. You got somebody doing the editing or whatever. Now you got a whole wedding team. You charge people $3,000, $3,500. Your team goes out and do the wedding. You got a wedding photography company that's running without you actually being there. Money's coming there from there. Everybody's getting paid, including you. Now you can go out and do pet photography, okay, and do the same process over and over and over again. The problem is you want to do everything, okay, but there's going to be a cap because you're only one person. So you can only make max, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10,000 a month, 15,000 a month, right? But when you stop trying to keep all the money, you have more time, more freedom, and more money.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah, I do.
You look like you got something you're about to say.
I wanted you to hit the message button again because my brother was preaching.
On,
but also, this guy, this dude here. Also, I know I said that on my last question, but man, you dropping so much on here. I just got to ask you for one of my friends too.
Yeah.
This question is specific about the studio. You mentioned that you guys started the studio. You got some like-minded people together. Yeah. Could you kind of give just a little bit more on the studio, like what it kind of takes to go and get a studio? Like, what would you need? Like, I guess just the kind of like the setup for a studio.
Yeah, man, a lot, man. So our studio was more like an event space. So it's a lot of moving parts. You're gonna need a lot of upfront costs. Okay, so I recommend if you're trying to get a studio, you need to have money, if not lots of money coming in on a consistent basis, right? So you need to be able to have clients. So right now I do clients. If you have luxury to work in the industry where you get to have clients on a monthly basis, this is something that you can actually use, because now I can charge clients on a monthly basis, and this could potentially pay for my my studio. But if you're on and off about, because you also have to, for us, we had to rent out the studio. So I guess you got two different options. You can either have an event space, a studio where other photographers out there can rent it out, or you can have a space where you just can do your actual shoots. So we went the event space route. Now I'm not sure about the other one as far as you got a space and it's just you and all that. I don't really know about that. Not like a single studio. I'm not sure about that. But for like a bigger space, our space is 4,000 square feet. And we got event space, 2 photography areas, conference room, podcast room, 2 bathrooms. It's a huge space. It's a situation. So you have to, man, it's a lot of different barriers without getting too technical. But you want to find a location.
Mm-hmm.
2, you want to find out what is the actual what is the permit thing that you need for that location before you sign. So like, maybe you can't have, loud music at a certain time. Maybe you can't have alcohol. Maybe whatever, right? Make sure this location is easy to find and find out what those permits look like. 3, you got to find out what's the demand in this particular area, right? What's the demand in this particular area? How many photographers do I know, or whatever the reason I'm having the space for, what's the demand for in this particular area, right? Because let's say I'm in Louisiana, but there's not a lot of weddings happening there. Maybe I don't need, or a lot of people getting acting shoots there. Maybe I don't need a studio for that. Maybe I need more studio for more rappers, because maybe more rappers in Louisiana. Okay, so you also have to think about the market, right? Is there a need for your market if you're trying to make money off of it? Okay, now the goal is to really make money off of it, so now you can have a studio for free, right? As opposed to you paying your own stuff. You get to a point where you got people coming there paying for your studio, so now you can come in there and do your clients or do your shoots for free. So not only is it paying you, but you don't have to pay for a studio, okay? But before you do that, you need to have something else paying for your studio, some type of passive income, right? Or something that's just going to pay you on a monthly basis to pay for the studio, so you don't have to worry about how you're going to come up with rent.
Is rent like the biggest overhead that you would have?
It is. But then you also got platforms to help you actually host your actual studio space, right? Peer space, all these different platforms to help you actually host your event. It could be different for different places, right? So it can be out there to more people, right? But for me, man, it's like, it's a lot of effort, right? It's more, getting started was more than what I thought. I didn't realize it was a 3-month build out, right? I didn't realize it took that long to actually build out the space. I was like, wow. I didn't realize you need to hire a management to manage the space, right? I didn't realize you got to do tours on a number of occasions. So I also recommend just research all the stuff that goes into it. And are you willing to do this? Is it going to be enough money for you to be able to go into it? Because otherwise, if it's just a luxury, you might be better off just renting out something else.
I appreciate you sharing that, man. That's definitely more to think about with it than just getting the space and getting some cameras.
Hell
You
yeah.
gotta have your ducks in a row. I ain't even think about the manager touring. Like, even we had a co-working space right now. They definitely have to hire somebody to do just that, just to show people around, because that's almost
part of the process.
what it is.
Yeah, no, for it, like I was like, this is so co-working spaces. So now if you can get a co-working space or rent out a studio, something like that, you get paid $75, charge a client extra, charge them extra $150. You get to come and use the space. There may be a better fit for you to help you with keeping the overhead costs low. I mean, it's just options. Like, some people, it's not a necessity to blow up and say, I want to be a photographer, I want to have a studio. Like, maybe, why not? You know what I mean? I'd much rather have my studio. I'd rather have a mobile studio, be wherever I want to. I want to be wherever I want to go. You know what I mean? If I want to, fly overseas and do my photography stuff over there, we just fly over there and do it. I don't have to be locked into a particular location.
Speaking of traveling with your equipment and flying, is it a special way that you got to do some of your equipment? Because some of this stuff is very,
for sure. It is. So for one, you got to keep all your battery stuff on you, right? On your actual carry-on. So here's keep it plain and simple. Think about when you go to a shoot, if they lose your bag, what are some things that you can still have on you that you can still do the shoot without? Meaning, you don't want to put some stuff, whether it's batteries or maybe another camera, anything else in this particular check bag, that if they lose it, can you still do your shoot without it? if you ask yourself that question, it's easier for you to be able to go out there and actually fly. Now, of course, you can't put batteries inside, like inside lithium batteries inside of your actual check bag, right? So in your check bag, most time it's tripods, whatever, lights and stuff like that. A lot of your camera equipment is on you, right? But some people might want to say, man, I want to take some camera equipment out the bag. Can you operate your shoot without it? If not, keep everything. You want to keep that thing tight and close to you, because you can't just roll it to a Best Buy. You know, it might be open in town, whatever. Buy a camera, buy a lens, get it formatted the way you want to, and have learned a whole new camera before you get to your shoot. I've had one time where TSA whoever had lost my name, losing my bag. My bag was going to another place.
Damn.
Right. So I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't have anything too crazy there anyway, so I just went to like Walmart or something or wherever, got a tripod, got whatever else I needed, and then I was still able to do the shoot. I'm like, man, imagine if I had like some action, like a drone in there, you know, something I needed for the, you know what I mean, something I actually needed. Man, listen.
Shit.
Now I gotta spend my money that I just made just to go get the shoot done.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely gonna return it. Definitely. I'm asking about the return policy before I purchase.
I love it.
Hey, well, we appreciate you coming out here and dropping this wisdom, my brother. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna pivot to the last segment of the show.
Okay.
Brandon, man, we want to ask you, what's something that you've seen on your timeline, my brother? What's something, it could be anything, social media, the news that you've seen that you thought was noteworthy you want to speak on?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I ain't really got nothing deep to talk about. But what I do want to say, is that it's a lot of people are on social media. Just speaking of timelines in general, a lot of people compare themselves to a lot of people. And if you just stop and just think about where you are better than where you were last year? Okay. And then also you have to think about, are these people doing what they say that they are doing? Right. Because if you see, you know, you can see somebody doing a lot of travel, doing the stuff that, man, this looks cool, but it's more, it's more than what meets the eye. Right. So you don't want to, I got a quote from someone. He said, don't compare someone's, and we're going to try to remember.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Don't compare somebody's like year 10 to your year 1 or something like that.
Yes. It's multiple different variations of that same quote, but yes, essentially, right? So you don't know what these people are going through or went through. You don't know what people are going through right now. If you can just sit there and be focused on what you said that you were going to do, then you will get there, whatever that path is. Let me say this. Anything you do on a consistent basis will work. Anything. I don't care what it is. If you freaking, you know, play basketball every single day for 5 years, you'll be really, really good at basketball. You know what I mean? You play spades for every day for 5 years, you can be really, really good at spades. If you just focus on being consistent, it will work out for you. That's guaranteed.
Another one. I knew you had to hit it for him. That was a necessary one.
No, for real, because it seems so simple. It's kind of like, dude, what you mean? That's not even like you put the message, but it's like, what do you mean by that? Literally, just be consistent. Just like this, because I realized whenever I quit, the only thing I was doing for that period of time was photography and videography. That's the only reason I was able to quit. So even though I wasn't trying to blow up with it, that's the only thing I've been doing. And I was like, oh, so I could just be consistent with anything. Mind you, this wasn't my God-given, you know, time. I wasn't born. Came out the womb with a camera in my hand. It's the only thing I was doing consistent in the past. And people look at me and say, oh man, yo man, you lucky because you got the camera and all that. Dude, what, you got a camera 6 years ago? You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, they thought I was like, you know, had a camera when I was 5. No, dude, I just picked this up.
They ain't seen 3 months where you ain't had no job.
You know what I'm saying?
In the lab for 3 summers, man.
Yeah, and there was a whole other situation too. Like I need photos. I'm in the little I'm in the little whatever the little room. I got a 2 gigabyte computer. Took me 24 hours to edit, you know, to render a video. So if you're not really sure, you got well, I don't know if you got the video, but regardless, if you do a video now, it might take you a matter of minutes, maybe 10 minutes to be able to export a video to be able to give to you.
Yeah.
Right? Back then, it took me 24 hours. So if you want to change, say, hey, can you change my name on there? You got my name wrong. I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Damn.
Hit the button. I got to go to sleep and come back the next day.
God damn. Computer processing is a whole lot better now.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, that's it, man. Just don't compare yourself to others. Stay focused, because social media will put you in this place where you don't feel like you're doing what you need to do. You don't feel like you're doing enough. You know what I mean? So I don't want anybody to get that feeling of like, man, you know what, man, I suck. You know what I mean? Because John, he got on. He flew to Florida and Miami.
He on the PJ.
You know what I mean? He on the PJ. Listen, you know what I mean? You gonna get your PJ opportunity too, but you have to stay focused and stop looking at what other people are doing.
It's a bar. So, Brandon, I just want to say thank you again, my brother. Appreciate you for coming on this episode, dropping these gems. Hopefully all the photographers and videographers out there were able to gain something. But can you please just leave them and let them know where can they tap into you for any other type of tips or any other type of things that you got going on? I know you mentioned the course and everything. Like, just plug yourself in where they can find you.
Yeah, for sure. So if you actually go to my Instagram, it's Brandon Shot Me. I do a whole bunch of foolishness on there, but I do give a lot of tips on photography and videography. So if you need to learn more about business, go to Brandon Shot Me on Instagram. If you actually want to turn it into an actual business, right? You want to turn it into a business, you actually can go to shooterscamp.com, right? And I have a course that can show you everything. And between, not only photography, videography, but building, multiple streams for business credit, personal credit, just random stuff, just everything you're going to need plus more to be able to do, start, grow, and scale your photography and videography business. And then also, I guess, I don't know, when this episode drops, I might get somebody a week and just put in BWR, and I give people a discount code.
Hey, that's a bet.
Yeah, we make sure we put that down in the show notes.
Yeah, y'all click that link below.
Our brother, I take it out of game. You
sure.
Experience yourself so that y'all don't have to go and bump your head. Like I know you mentioned in there earlier, you got people 2-3 months out of the class,
able to quit their job,
able to replace their income. So definitely,
yeah.
Dope.
Absolutely.
Once again, appreciate you, my brother. But before we wrap this up, we're gonna get into some house cleaning notes. Once again, appreciate you to any new listeners. Thank you for tapping in on this episode. If you loved it, please subscribe, leave us a review. If you hated it, let us know why you didn't like it. Also, if you've been coming here with us, if you've been rocking out with us, appreciate y'all, family. We've been doing this for 2 years now, so appreciate y'all coming in, rocking with us for these 2 years. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we just hit 1 million downloads. We're trying to do 2-3 million this year, so we're trying to really 10x,
double our listenership.
So y'all share that with y'all. Share the podcast, the episodes with your family, friends. If you don't know, you can also listen to the podcast on YouTube also. So check us out on YouTube as well.
Last thing I got for y'all check out the Podcasters Playbook. I know my brother just was mentioning we just hit 1 million downloads. If you're interested in starting your own podcast, we put that together for everybody that's looking to do that.
Yeah, same thing that Brandon. Same thing with Brandon. Like, we bumped our head. Like, it was a lot. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Some nights I'm up till 6 o'clock editing, trying to get this thing together. So put together a course to where you don't have to do all of that. We crawled and walked so y'all can run and fly. So y'all definitely tap into that episode. That course, the Podcasters Playbook.
Link in the show notes. Yes, indeed. But Brandon, once again, thank you for coming on here, my brother. We ain't got nothing else for y'all good people. So we'll see you next time.
This is Black Off on the Side signing out.
Peace.
I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone.